Preserve Rural Durham presents Next Steps in the Appeal Process in Durham.
My name is Pam Andrews and I reside on Wake Forest Highway. I'm coming to you today to talk about the tax appraisals. A lot of you all appealed your tax value. Some of us in Southeast Durham saw our values double and even triple in value, which was obviously alarming, and so a lot of people appealed in this area. Now people are starting to hear back from their appeal to see what their new value, or if anything, has changed after they did a formal appeal. So we've learned a lot through this process, and only because a couple residents have now gone through the whole cycle do we want to clarify in order which papers you should receive. Because some residents have not received documents that they were supposed to receive and therefore missed going to the Board of Equalization for their hearing. So today I just want to walk through what the papers are that you should receive. And Tina will be showing you through our edits, our close-ups of these documents. Okay, so the example I'm going to share with you is a family parcel. It is a parcel that abuts to our land. Which belongs to my husband's siblings. And so they appealed. It's just land. There is no home on the land. It's just some land. And they appealed on May the 14th. My sister-in-law and I worked on an appeal process document, which is put a lot of reasons why, but mainly because it's in the wetlands and it's in floodplain. It does not perk. It's in the critical watershed. Thinking that it was a really good case for their appeal, I just helped. So again, on May the 14th, we appealed. Okay. On June the 13th, so almost exactly a month later, from the 14th to June 13th, Deborah received, my sister-in-law, a notification that's called the Notice of Determination for the parcel from Durham County Appeal System is who sent it to her. Again, the Notice of Determination. In that letter, you do not realize until you actually scroll down, this is paper copy, but obviously it was through the computer. You scroll down and then it tells you please review the attached. So you have to click on the link to get to the actual letter that I'm going to send you. And it's only when you click on that link that you learn you only have 10 days. 10 days to make a second appeal. So on this staff review recommendation, okay, instead of the value going down, it went up a little over $50,000, which is unusual. So of course we appealed. We had, again, 10 days on this first document called Staff Review Recommendation Letter of Determination or Notice of Determination. So we got the appeal in within our 10 days, sent it in. The second appeal looks like this, okay? This was sent in June 20th. She received the letter June 12th. We sent it in June 20th, so we were within our 10-day window, okay? And again, nice prepared document that we're not even sure if anybody's reading. She then received back, remember these dates, it was mailed in or emailed in, electronically sent in, June the 20th, and supposedly this letter was sent out June the 20th. So that's pretty fast turnaround, right? You send it on June the 20th, you receive feedback, or supposedly mailed on June the 20th. But here's the kicker. This is called the Durham County Board of Equalization and Review. It is the notice of hearing where she was supposed to go to a live face-to-face hearing in Durham. But the problem is this letter never arrived until July 11th. So mailed out June the 20th, which it says here, date mailed June 20th, 2025. She did not receive it till July 11th. And the hearing was supposed to be July 9th. So how can you go to a hearing that you know nothing about? She could not. Another neighbor in our same parcel of land behind us also appealed. Very similar steps were followed, and he never received it either electronically or by mail. Deborah at least originally received this by mail, okay? But after the hearing date had passed of July 9th. So, realizing she missed her hearing, we immediately started going, okay, we got to react. So there are phone numbers on here to call, 560-0300. There is an email to respond to, taxboyer, BOER, at dconc.gov. And nothing. To this day, which today is July the 24th, she's not heard back at all. Now, she received that letter on the 11th and started trying to get in touch with people. So when they did not respond back by email or phone that she called, I encouraged her to reach out to the head tax administrator, which is Kiar Doyle. So letters were then sent to Kiar to let him know. He did politely respond back and let her know that he was not the administrator over this process once it goes to that board. At that point, once you go to the Board of Equalization and Review, they abbreviate it BOER, B-O-E-R, Board of Equalization and Review. Once you go to that board, it no longer falls under Kiar Doyle, the head tax administrator's domain. It then becomes part of your county commissioner's domain. Okay? So she reached out. Kiar did a great job. He responded to her very promptly and let her know that this was not his call, but he would let them know that she had reached out and had heard nothing back. And again, even as of today, she heard nothing back. So in her short letter, on July 11th, I received a notice of hearing by mail for a scheduled hearing that was scheduled in your office July 9th at 2:40 to 2:50. We can show you Kiar's response, which was made a day later. So he was quick to respond. Give you kudos, Kiar. But that didn't fix the problem. The problem was she still did not get her hearing that she had rights to go to and appeal in front of a board. So our next step is she then received, remember the letter came on the 11th, on July 15th, 4 days later, she now gets a final decision notice. It is called the Notice of Decision. This is your final notice. Okay? It says Durham County Board of Equalization and Review, Notice of Decision. There's your final notice. However, if you choose to then appeal further, now you're going to be going to the state of North Carolina. You go out of Durham County to Raleigh. It tells you how to go about completing that appeal to Raleigh. You fill out a very short form called Form AV-14, Notice of Appeal and Application for Hearing to Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay, so the AV-14 form looks like this. The Notice of Appeal and Application for Hearing. This again is an appeal to Raleigh, North Carolina, not Durham. So up here, you can fill in tax year. It would be tax year 2026. This little bar will let you drop down and put your county in there, Durham. You're going to fill out all this as you typically would, your name, mailing address, email address, phone numbers. This section is asking you what your decision was. Remember that notice of decision. If you don't have that, you can simply leave it and make a notation, explain why you don't have it yet. It could be you didn't get your notice to go to the in Durham, the Board of Equalization and Review, or it could be that you just they haven't called you yet and you want to go ahead and get your case on file in Raleigh. But this one asks you, your Board of Equalization, when day did you go, the date, and were you satisfied? What was the value that you were given? Again, here you're going to click Property Owner Appeals, put your value here. If you want to attach a comment, you can. I would also encourage you, because it also says you can also attach documentation or evidence. It's hard to squeeze a lot in that little space, but you can try and then attach other documents. Remember, this is going to be mailed. So you need to make 4 copies when you're doing this. Don't forget to print your name, you're the owner, and sign and date it. Don't forget this area down here. Also, at the top, it shows you the instructions for completing the application are available. Name and addresses, because you have to mail one to your county assessor, one to your county attorney, one to Raleigh, and one for yourself. So it's going to print out 4 copies when you hit print on this form, and 4 copies will print out. Okay, again, one's going to the county assessor, the county attorney, the Raleigh Commission, and the 4th one is for you to keep. Okay, so pretty simple form. Attach your documentation and get it in the mail to Raleigh, as well as your county attorney and county assessor. I know a number of people in Redwood who have started to hear back. Most of us over on the Oak Grove side have not heard back yet. A few people in the Redwood community have, and have gone through the complete cycle that I just explained to you. Again, we'll have it listed online on this video, the order you should receive these forms. I'll go over it again very quickly. So the first thing you did is you had to appeal. Okay, your first appeal, you had to meet the deadline, which we did, May the 14th. Okay, then you will hear back from the county tax administrators a letter that says notice of determination. Well, they will then determine what they feel is your value. Remember, on this one you only have 10 days. Okay, your staff recommendation, value of your land, whether it went up or down after your appeal, will be on this letter. If you're not happy, you appeal it a second time, which was done on June the 20th. That same day, don't know how that turnaround happened so quickly, but that same day, supposedly, which was supposed to have been mailed June the 20th, is your notice of hearing. That is for you to go before the Board of Equalization and Review in Durham County. She didn't get it on time, so she missed the hearing, although the letter arrived almost a month late. June 20th, she received it July 11th. You will then receive a notice of decision. That is the final decision for Durham County. But they advise you that you can appeal this to Raleigh if you choose. Remember, when you do that, you will fill out Form AV-14, which is titled Notice of Appeal and Application for Hearing. Even if you don't have your final decision, although it would like to have that information, you can go ahead and fill this out and get in the queue over in Raleigh. I think that's pretty much explains what this case has been about. I know another case, again, behind us had a very similar situation, except they didn't get a letter or an email ever about their rights to go to a hearing in Durham.
Here are the steps to the appeal process if you want to make a checklist. Step 1. Your personal tax appeal sent to the Durham County Tax Office by June 16th. Step 2. Notice of determination will be sent to you, and only when you click on the link you will see that you have 10 days to appeal again if you do not agree with the value. Step 3. The second appeal can be sent electronically or delivered in person to the Durham County Tax Office. Step 4. The Durham County Board of Equalization and Review will then send you a notice of hearing that should be mailed and emailed. This sets up a time for you to go before the Durham Board of Equalization and Review to further appeal your case. Step 5. After your hearing, you will receive a notice of decision from Durham County with their final decision. If you do not agree with their decision, you can go to the state of North Carolina within 30 days. The Notice of Decision letter references Form AV-14, which is the state form to appeal. This form is titled Notice of Appeal and Application for Hearing. Step 6. Fill out Form AV-14 and mail it to the following people. Print 4 copies. One goes to the Durham Tax Assessor, Kiar Doyle. Another letter goes to Durham County Attorney Larissa Williamson. The third goes to North Carolina Property Tax Commission, and the fourth one is for your records. Update on Deborah's appeal. Kimberly Horton sent an email to Deborah noting that they failed to notify Deborah by email of the upcoming hearing for her property and offered to set up a new hearing, but Deborah already appealed to the state. The state quickly acknowledged receipt of Deborah's appeal. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.